What's up, everybody? Instagram, AZD, IMC Nation, IMC Base One, the YouTubes, Zoom. Welcome. Very excited that we're going out with Mystery and AZD tonight. And if something should happen and Mystery doesn't show up, so what? That's amazing that AZD has that relationship with him. You know, he goes, hangs out with them after his boot camp, blah, blah, blah. Told us about it today in class. It was amazing conversation, cutting edge. Because Mystery, if you don't know, founder of the Mystery Method, is the world's greatest pickup artist, probably that's ever lived. Like, guy is amazing just from what I've seen, heard, and I can tell because I'm with the greatest player. I'm out all the time and I see AZD has 8 girlfriends. They're fucking gorgeous. They're all in perfect order with him, and they're just not easy to get, but he has a perfect family harmony, and he's been doing that for many years. He's amazing at seduction and relationships, the best. Then he learned from Mystery and swears by it as it's a method of pickup. So you got to understand that there's a real evolution in how to interact with women. I'm 38. When I was 28, very ignorant. 18, just totally lost. I wasn't like, it's a real thing, a skill set to communicate with people. And of course, with the opposite sex, the attraction is something that you never get with guys. And so, I mean, whatever, gays or whatever, but I'm saying even that's just a misguided instinct to procreate, which would be an attraction, sexual attraction with women. And how to navigate that communication. Most guys don't even know how to navigate with other men, let alone women. So there's a skill set there, and you can learn from an older or more experienced man, whatever, in many ways, by observing, by them telling you, depends on how good they are at the skill and how good they are at teaching it and or explaining themselves or whatever. But in the hierarchy of on planet Earth, people to get beautiful, the women that any guy would go for, would at least want to say hi. We might have different preferences about what's the most beautiful woman on earth, but we can all pretty much agree if a girl is hot, if a female is really good looking, might not be in the models, they're too thin, you might be thicker or whatever, but you're not fat. But you can admit that a model is fine. She got pretty face, perfect symmetry, like those, all spectrum of the finest women. This guy, Mystery, who was a nerd, a late bloomer, virgin for a long time. This is like 20 years ago. It's an old story, 20, 25 years ago. And, you can follow his whole story. I've done other podcasts and shit on him. But, he's the world's greatest pickup artist. He became, by just going out, practicing, taking notes, being all nerd about it, discussing it with other nerds that were trying to figure it out. And, he had an advantage with his magic that he could really spike emotions. He was a professional magician. But just a nerd and a virgin for a long time or whatever. But he became great, and he taught other guys, and they became great. One of the signs of his greatness is the fact that he made many other great pickup artists that were just amazing nerds that turned into the kind of guys that got 10s, 9s, and 10s strategically. Thought they knew how to communicate, what to say, and how to at least have sex with the girl, maybe get into some relationships. But that's where AZD stepped in and transcended, went to the next level with multiple relationships, and being able to really fulfill that dynamic. So you're not just lost in chaos and in some kind of like sex triangle or sex square or sex whatever, pentagon, whatever people call it these days. It's sloppy. It's all over the place, and it just falls apart and dissipates. Guys pride themselves on their sexual, whether they've been with 2 girls or 20 girls or 200 girls. They're like, I've had plenty. I've been there, done that. That's basically the same thing if every guy says that. Or they'll say, it's just not my priority right now because business and legacy and this and that. I want to find a good woman. You're just so far down on the evolution. You're not far forward. What is a 9 and 10? Can you describe it? The girls in the magazines, in the movies, in the music videos, if there was a girl and you were going to have her as an extra or even a main role, you might think that she needs acting skills or whatever, but at least as an extra, like who would be the fine woman in the background? 9s and 10s. Okay. Other than that, what do you want me to say? Beautiful woman. I mean, just the best. Rank a woman. Rank her. And then what's a 9 and a 10? And if you really put all the women out there that you're thinking of, some that you think are 9s are actually 8s because there's others that are 9s and there's others that are 10s. And then one day you'll come across a neck-breaking 10. And you're like, oh, fuck. That other girl was like a 9.6. This is a 10.0. Come across a few of those, and AZD's dated some of those. And he has probably 3 or 4 10.0 girlfriends, maybe 5. Like he dates the finest women, bro. And so I'm going out with him tonight, which is something stellar that I always stream about and tell you guys about. But also Mystery's going out, the guy he learned from, who he has surpassed in relationships. There's no doubt. The Mystery's not known as a relationship guy, and he says he doesn't know any inner game and whatever. But as a pickup artist, the actual skill set, and he's a cool guy. I've never interacted with him, but I know he's like 53 years old now. He's been around, he's been with some of the finest women, and you guys can dispute whatever about who's the greatest. But man, guys out there are dorks. Even the senior guys and the guys that get women, guys that have 1,000 lays or more. It's not AZD's alpha apex. It's the thing that makes multiple relationships work. There's a reason why. It's not like those other pickup guys wouldn't want all the pretty women that they're getting to be in a perfect dynamic with them. They just don't know how to do it because they don't have the character. And anyway, when I go out tonight, it's such a privilege to be out with Mystery and AZD and see that two student-teacher relationship, as I have my own student relationship with AZD. And with Mystery from a distance, he's never met me, and so it'll be just cool to shake his hand, and I'm sure I'll observe his game, whatever. I mean, a guy in that position after 25 years of teaching is probably used to students just like watching him game. Being beside AZD when we go out is a lot of being able to interact with women and game and do your game and build your relationships while you don't miss what he's doing, because he's just cutting edge, next evolution, way next evolution, like lifetimes upon lifetimes of evolution of social dynamics ahead. What's going on here? What if I don't like that and see them as fake, like hippie girls and alternative chicks? What's a 10 to you is a better question. You want to stream? Let's find out what you just want to be clear on what you like. So let's dialogue a little bit. I like this conversation. Yes, brother, I'm in the Telegram chat. Yogi Mahir. Nice. Yeah, let's talk about it. Man, what's your name? What's a 9 and a 10? If you can just request a stream. Dark Nimbus with your creative use of numbers. Gonzo Fedez. What's up, man? We're talking game, man. I'm going out with the greatest pickup artist of all time and the greatest seducer in recorded history that I've ever heard of, AZD. And ask me why I think that, because I just spelled it out. But if you're just joining, then tap in, ask me a question. Otherwise, I'm looking for Dark Nimbus. Go live with me, man. I don't want to text back and forth. Let's talk about 9s and 10s. And then I'm going to be getting ready here in a few minutes. Shower up, get in the right state of mind. And the right state of mind is just how AZD teaches it while Dark Nimbus gets his shit together. Come on, Dark Nimbus. Let's go. Let's talk 9s and 10s. Because we're going to the world's biggest strip club tonight. And there are definitely going to be a lot of 9s and 10s. And if Homeboy has difficulty with certain kinds of 9s and 10s because they're fake, first of all, bro, what girl is not fake? Or do you think the ugly girl is more real? Do you think the business girl is more real? The college girl is more real? The church girl? Do you think the church girl is more real? What is real that you're referring? This version of real that you're talking about? Because you point to your inexperience in the game to even call it out like that. Listen, guys, girls are just trying to survive. They got their wickedness and they are weak, and so they get possessed of demons all the time, whatever. But they're just trying to survive. And so how they are is how they've learned how to survive in their life. Yeah, they had parents and whatever. Go look at my page and then come back to me and you'll understand. I don't know. I don't know what that means. But if you can't go live because you're like hardcore fucking special ops or some shit, then yeah, what's a 9 or 10 to you? Whatever a 9 or 10, we don't even have to go back and forth. Whatever a 9 or 10 is to you, And if you're not going for beauty, whatever category you're talking about, hippie, yoga, spiritual, pothead, whatever you like, if beautiful isn't part of the recipe for 9 and 10, then you're genetically weird. You got to see that. And you got some cultural idea of like there's a righteous woman or there's the right woman for you. You guys are brainwashed if you think there is. Seriously, you're dumb. You're dumb if you think there's the right woman. There are, I get like she's more capable of being with you, but how you present yourself and how you lead her is going to make a huge difference. And you need to lead her because whatever she's doing is not going to get her there. You and her happily ever after is not going to happen because she figured it all out. You're going to have to lead her. The girls on my profile that I'm seen with is what I like. I decide what is weird and what is not. Yeah, for yourself, I get it. Your subjective world, you totally do. But there is an objective reality outside of just your subjective world. And so you could convince yourself that XYZ woman is not beautiful, that Jane or Jackie or Jennifer or whatever, because of her fakeness. I get that. I don't like fake bitches either. But do you really think that to the core of her being, she's fake? Or do you just think she's presenting fakeness to keep herself safe? That's what she does. That's her personality that's worked for her that gets her survival. I'm not saying you got to put up with it. I'm just saying you're in some delusion if you think other girls are not fake. It's your game. Your game penetrates her shields and then opens her up. And that's a conspiracy you have with her because she's not able to open up and be authentic with other people. They take advantage of her. If the prettier she is, the more they take advantage of her. That's why she's got the biggest bit shield. I don't agree and don't care what other men think. I do what I want. Well, you could not agree. Not caring what other men think is fine, but that's going to keep you a lone wolf forever, and you're weak as a lone wolf. There's no way in hell you can reason that you as a loner is stronger than 2 or 3 versions of you, 4, 5, 6, 10. You as a lone wolf can only offer so much protection and so much shield for your family. You need to be in a tribe. So at some point, you're going to have some guys that you want to care about their opinion because if they don't like you, then they're not going to get your back. Or you'd be a lone wolf for the rest of your life, and that's just a low power level. There's no powerful man on earth that's by himself because you just can't be powerful like that. And if you can't be powerful, then of course you'll get lower value women. Women are attracted to power. If you have no power because nobody likes you and you're a lone wolf. Now, if you have some guys that you care about, then just specify. Some guys' opinions I care about. Those are my friends. Now let's look at the quality of women they also get. Because that's the code of life. Women are supposed to mate with men and men are supposed to mate with women. Whether you have kids or not, you're supposed to pair bond. That's the way nature was created. And if you can't do that, then you suck as a human. And if you can do, like Andrew, Andrew Dutra, and if you can do that, then what's the quality of your women and the quality of your relationship? And you can have your subjective opinions about it, but you can think your women are beautiful. Everybody else thinks your women are ugly. Then, you're not going to have strong friends. Wrong. I don't need other men in the age of AI. You do. Yeah, you do, bro. Yeah, you do. Because human connection is real. And you have weak character if no men like you. I'm not saying all men need to like you. Most men may not like you. But you got to have some men that like you. And if you don't, then you're just not likable. So AI isn't going to substitute for unlikability. Because you're incapable to have the skills I have. Probably. I might be capable, but I don't know what skills or want your skills. Your tribe makes you weak. If your tribe makes you weak, then you need to get away from them. And that's probably why you're a lone wolf. I don't desire human connection. Then, you're in the wrong place because this is an account dedicated to game. AZD's game is, yeah, I do desire human connection. It's weird that you don't. So you got to see that that's the path to sociopathic, to psychopathic, to serial killer. Like not desiring human connection is the way to perversion, to rape, that is how they start. So you should look at that. You can think you're special all day, but I'm sure they all thought they were special too. That's why they felt entitled to do those things because they felt special. They justified it. You get that they didn't think they were wrong in their mind. We can clearly see they were wrong. But they thought they were right doing what they're. Nobody does what they think is wrong. They may be ignorant, so you may be ignorant, or you may be going down a really bad path, bro. So, whatever. Anybody else? We got 5 minutes. I'm going out with the world's greatest pickup artist that's ever lived in recorded history and the world's greatest relationship expert who's ever lived in recorded history. It's pretty sick tonight. I'm pretty excited. Connections are a form of resource, comrade, and connection. Yeah, definitely. They are a resource. All relationships are transactional. There is no right and wrong. There is right and wrong. There's good and evil, and right and wrong we could say is a subjective. So there, I agree. There is right and wrong. I mean, we could debate about it. I think there's virtue and there's corruption. There's good and evil. So relationships are transactional. Now, what are you transacting? Are you transacting money or something else? Because game is not transacting money. And that's where we excel. And that's where you guys suck. Andrew Dutra, you got to come to Vegas, man. This evolution is fucking real. Bro, if you were here, resident tonight, Andrew Dutra, you'd be going out with Mystery and AZD for regular price of whatever. Just the guy that just got here, Armando Vargas, for 2 weeks of residency, he's going out with the world's great with Mystery and AZD. You could say it's free of charge. I mean, it's free. You know, we just go out and pay the tip. That's amazing. The game tonight is going to be all like we may never even speak about it. AZD may say we're not going to talk about it, but I don't think he'll do that. Bro, beyond. You got to calibrate things, man. I wonder where your game is really at. Fuck, bro. Some people you just can't get through to. I don't understand. Where is what is it that you say something like that and then don't come around for like 3 years, 4 years? Like, that's amazing to me. That's amazing. You're either ensnared by women, somehow the people's opinions around you, which boils down to the women's opinions around you, is why you wouldn't travel to Vegas and learn from AZD and Mystery right now. Or what, bro? Because money, relationships, all the connections, the resources you were talking about, leverage, if you're in the kind of offsuit industries that you're in that depend on people to people relationships, when you learn game, you speak attraction switches to guys too. But game is real game. Nobody's teaching game. Mystery is pointing the way to game, but it ends at relationships. It's pretty good, brother. Haha. But of course, it can always be better. Of course. Yeah, but what does that mean to you? It could be better. Sure. Man, what do you see for your future with women, bro? Like, are you with a girl? Are you settling? Are you talking to some girls that you think you're going to settle with one of them? Are you just playing the field until what? Like, do you have a girlfriend right now while you play the field? Does she know about it? Did all the girls know about it? Like, what are you building, really? Because you're so far off multiple relationships, most likely, like 99.99%, because I've talked with so many guys, and it's just people are in the dark, like Dark Nimbus. Like, Dark Nimbus is just like an exceptional example. I have all of that without what you think I need. Women are for reproduction or entertainment. That is it. Uh, okay. Well, good luck. Well, I don't know what makes you think that. I get that they're for reproduction. That one's obvious. Andrew Dutra, hell yeah. Man, I got to go in 3 minutes, but let's do it. Uh, entertainment, man, entertainment is for the masses. I'm not here to be entertained. That's for a slave. I'm not here to be entertained, not by a woman or anything. Entertainment just means fixing your attention on something. What's up, Andrew Dutra? Got a few minutes. What's going on, man? Sacramento in the house. Yes, sir. Some from one wrestler to another. Greetings. Ding ding. Let's go. Man, I don't know. Maybe you got hit harder, or maybe you got softer ears. I don't know. Yeah, yeah. I'm also bald, so I wore a lot of headgear. Wrestling, mostly headgear. Yeah, people don't do it in jujitsu much that I've seen. It's hot and unnecessary. Bro, he did a boot camp and we didn't go. We did something else. We went, man, we had an amazing weekend. We went to Hollywood road trip with AZD, which is amazing. You can imagine, like, if you've ever seen some of the old documentaries, he's been with multiple relationships a while. So he used to do these like road trips with his girls, three or four girlfriends at a time, and one of his girls or two of his girls would record. You'd get a flavor for like what's that like to hang out with three, four hot bitches that are yours, that are dressed in a certain way, acting in harmony in a certain way on a whole, and you're like the man walking. And that was like 8, 10 years ago. And that it's still he's regularly hanging out with these bitches. So as we road trip with him, there's a certain way that he is, how he navigates music, how he moves, how he calls, how he texts. Like he's still that guy. And so it's such a dope creative experience. And then of course in Hollywood we have some amazing experiences that I can't even. I mean, it's the way he walks the streets and the way he interacts with people. His game is so it gets so limited by the label of game. That's what it is. I have to call it that because at the end of the day, it's 8 fine bitches are his women, 4 of them for over 10 years. They hang out and like tattoo, like the top girls. There's a line. There's just 8 girlfriend. Like it's just, and it's hard to overstate the harmony of it. So that, yeah, yeah. Essentially, yeah. It's kind of a degrading word, but essentially, that's not what he calls it at all. We never refer to that, but essentially. And I mean, imagine his first girl has been with him 19 and a half years, and she's still smoking. She's finer than she was, however that works out. And she was 18 when she got with him, and she's 37 or some shit right now. And it's like, and then the second girl for 16 years, more beautiful than back then. You could go and see well, he took down his old videos, but you used to be able to see it. And that guy that is the center of that solar system, so to speak, long-term, organized, like beautiful solar system, is on a road trip with us and walking the streets with us and interacting with people in a way that's, I've been with other pickup artists, and that'll be a great privilege to be out with him and AZD tonight. And I don't expect stuff like AZD's game is so under the radar, bro. It's so like that's what you got to see. And we go to strip clubs exclusively, and it's the finest women. It's Vegas, and they are hired guns, and they are there to hustle. And there is a real woman there behind that traumatized hustler, whatever the fuck. But you'd be surprised, man. Like, and yeah. Do you understand? Yeah. Well, think about it. Think about it. You just said it. It's you gave the answer is in your thing. So, given that it's a field of women, like what are you saying? If you're going to practice game, would you go to somewhere that? Go ahead. You could. You could deal with a lot of ugly normie people in a way that is set up that has so much privilege for the woman. And if you're a dangerous man, that attracts so much attention to you because you look like a goddamn newspaper of gang symbols, then maybe a more an environment catering to the more elite. Could you imagine Tony Soprano going to fucking XS nightclub versus getting a VIP section at a strip club? You know what I'm saying? Like certain environments are more teeny bopper, and you get the Vegas tourist that is looking to get drunk in Sin City or whatever. You build nothing with it. It's a dissipation of energy, and it's as risky as it's going to get for a guy. Or you can game local bitches who have moved here or live here, and they're the guaranteed finest in the country, and get guaranteed interactions with the finest women. who themselves know how to repel men left and right because they detest men and know the nature of men. Whereas you get a bitch at a nightclub who she's going to be all fucking female privilege. You're never going to control that bitch. You met her at a nightclub. All the pickup artists who get bitches at nightclubs don't have orderly. Even AZD never got any of his girls at nightclubs. He got them as hired guns. If AZD went to a nightclub, he would pick up the waitress or the fucking hostess. And then some girls there, maybe at least here in Vegas and in San Jose, as it is here in Vegas in every city, but especially in San Jose, it's just not as safe in a nightclub as it is a strip club. If you wanted to learn Muay Thai, you'd go to Thailand. If you want to learn BJJ, man, you would go somewhere like if you really like you at least once get the immersion of the culture that spawned that art. And you know what I'm saying? If you want to learn game, go somewhere that is, man, that is set up to be a sparring arena like nobody's business. There, that's what it is. It's the world championship, bro. This is the hardest city to game locals in America, in the Western world. Miami's easier. Yeah, this is the hardest for sure. But like Miami uh, is comparable. Like Miami would be there on the fucking podium, and Miami just has a lot more going on as a city, so it offers more. Vegas is just a city of hired guns and tricksters. So the city itself is small and locals, but the flow through of traffic is very high. So when you're gaming locals, you're competing with tourists that are spending a lot of money to get their attention on you. So the game is I'm competing with guys that will drop thousands of dollars at the club. So the girl spends a couple hours with me for 40 bucks or something and a drink is she's doing it because the emotional value of conversation with me is equivalent or greater than the emotional value of that money over there. You know what I'm saying? So you get to sharpen your discernment of game and what in your communication, because we're genetic game, we're just natural. So it's not gambits and pre-selected storylines and whatever, the scripts and things. It's learning how to speak to a woman in a way that spikes her genetic reactions and gives her a sense of fulfillment that rips her out of the game she's playing at the strip club and into her womanly existence. So she's experiencing her nature in conversation with us. But then we, as the leader, understanding that she's working, have to keep control of the frame in a way that you're working. This like there's a game you play at the club, and the game with a stripper really starts outside of the club. But you have to generate so much attraction and comfort and trust in her work environment, and that resharpens so many subtle nuances and discernments in the genetic mating ritual that is natural to all humans, but we're so lost and confused out there living another kind of life. AZD is the pioneer, the explorer, the spearhead. He's at the cutting edge of discernment of that, and his results are the proof. That's how he's able, his communication is so efficient that with 4 or 5 girlfriends around him at his place, he can communicate in a way that spikes everyone's emotions, that doesn't deplete people, that doesn't create conflict. And when conflict shows up, that's where his understandings of demons and entities have entered the space. And that's how he lit. It's part of his system of understanding, but it's just one segment of it that transcends the pickup artist movement because they could never get there with what they're doing. They're doing 3D, fucking three-dimensional game moves and scripts and things, but you got to bring in other dimensions to understand what's really happening, aliens and all that shit. Like that is part of AZD's integrated system that just reveals the game to you. And then when it's revealed to you, then when you observe him, that's why in person is so important. When you observe him, you see more of what he actually is doing, and your nature comes out. And that's the process. It's just activating your natural game. It's fucking dope. And then he's a character development and linguist specialist. So by communicating with you, helping to navigate your personality to a more attractive version of you, emphasizing, because you have things that are very attractive and then qualities about you that you're good at cloaking. So I'm not going to pull it out here, but qualities about you that are lower value to women, to their DNA. And it's just a process of erasing negative qualities and amplifying positive qualities. And that's a character development that he does. But that's the nitty gritty, like the lectures and the dialogue you get with him. So, brother, 1 week is 4K, 2 weeks is 6.5K. That's the current price. 3 months from now, 6 months from now, it might be different. For you, it's going to be, man, a weekend is 2K. People come for any custom range. And it's transparent, guys. The website is up, imcbase1.com. You see all the details. I give you a stack of trainings, custom for you if you want to learn his game, his communication, his sales, his spirituality, like the demon, all that. Whatever you want to learn, I'll get you a custom stack of stuff. Just get on the phone with me, and that'll be part of, you study that before you show up to residency. Then you live here with us. Couch, floor, I sleep on the floor. We've got blankets, pillows for you. Share the bathroom, share the kitchen. You get on our schedule. I debrief you on everything. You just show up as a roommate, basically. There's 9 guys that live here in a 5-bedroom. 5 of us have bedrooms. 4 of us have fucking spaces. Everybody's here to train with AZD. And it's Fight Club, bro. But the battle is good and evil, because you won't see it manifest anywhere more than men, women. Well, I got to get ready, bro, because I'm tapping in to go out with AZD. So if it's a 1 or 2 minute call, then call me. And if you need some details or direction, or tomorrow, like morning, 9 a.m. or afternoon. Okay. All right. Salute, brother. Everybody else, I hope you gained value from that. People were watching on all platforms. So you didn't hear Andrew because I got the headphone in, but I'm sure you heard something from my side. Salute, brother. I'll talk with you tomorrow. Close. That was cool.